Oh, sure. Yay. Oh, turn the lights off in your room. Yeah, I think I have one. Thank you so much. Your clippers right there.
So I'm presenting on manufacturer monograph and patient management.
Clicking. Is it on? Check the side.
So a manufacturer monograph is going to have the identity, strength, purity, and performance of the drug. It's just going to have a lot of information. It also has like the structure and clinical trials in it.
It's her 5-minute so
So the development of the manufacturer monographs, it started a few years before the drug reached its patent protection, which is it protects or allows for only the pharmaceutical company holding the patent to manufacture or sell the drug. The license holder will work with the USP expert committee to develop the monograph in a transparent process. The USP expert committee is the United States Pharmacopeia.
Very good.
Committee. It is made up of the scientific experts that volunteer time and work. These experts include health practitioners, academia, industry practitioners, and also FDA experts that participate in they act as government liaisons. The publication process are available to the public after the medication's patent protection expires, and it is followed after the process. So what's included in it is the description and classification of the drug, mechanism of action, pharmacokinetics, administration, indication, dosages, interactions, contraindications, precautions, adverse reactions, and the clinical trials. So I have my example on Prozac. Over here, you see where it says the product monograph words and the side with the manufacturer. I just have this because I have the link on there where it has the entire product.
Very good, yeah. But this comes with your bottle that you found the actual manufacturer product insert, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is the one, this is how it's still the contents will look like. So again, it has like the clinical trials, the pharmaceutical information. It has the pharmacology, drug interactions. Then this one comes with about like 50 pages, including the medication guide. Now I'm going to talk about the patient package inserts. These ones come with the medication, with the patient. It's information about the drug, about NDCs. So it's going to include the pharmacology again, indications, contraindications, precautions, adverse reactions, dosages and administration. It'll include abuse and dependence, overdosage, and drug interactions. It's not required by the FDA. It's not required for all drugs, but it is required for oral contraceptives, estrogen, and drugs approved for indications based just on animals. And some of these are submitted to the FDA and then approved by the FDA. And then this is an example.
If you want to picture it, this is the one, the package insert is the one that's folded, like in a square and glued usually on top of the bottle or on the side. Very tiny. That's why many pharmacies, especially in the old days, have magnifying glass with a light, and then they read it under that.
This probably still have.
I would need it. If I still am in the pharmacy, I probably would request one if they don't have any. Okay.
And some similarities of it are obviously it includes the information for the patients and health professionals. It documents, both documents can be produced by the manufacturers. The FDA is involved in both of them. And there's very similar information, just one's going to be a little bit more extensive, which is going to be the Monographs.
Correct.
And it can be revised and approved by the FDA. And then some differences are just that, again, they can be, the Monograph is a little bit more extensive and descriptive, and the Monographs were with the USP before the FDA. And then I have my sources, and then I have, because for my project, I had to do a little activity. I was just gonna have you guys go to the Monograph and the PTI and just find some of the differences in the specific topics, so like the indication.
Good job. Okay, let me pose this question then. Is a pack, now that Ashley has differentiated the Monograph and the package insert, is the package insert considered a monograph?
Yes.
Yes, because what is the definition of a monograph? The description of the drug, information about the drug. So yes, a package insert is considered a monograph. Okay, it's just a shorter version, like what she says, part of the similarities and differences. With her topic, it's perfect that we ended with her topic because the next law I'm going to discuss after the 1970, where we ended, is the 1972 Drug Listing Act. Okay, 1972 Drug Listing Act. This act gives the FDA authority to compile a list of currently marketed drugs, all that's available to the public, all that's available to the market. But there's one thing that's very, very important in here. Under this act came the NDC. This question always comes up on the PTCE. NDC stands for National Drug Code. Take note, National Drug Code. I want to write on it. National Drug Code. The questions that come up on the PTCE. Okay. There's 11 digits. This always comes up too, listen. Okay. Sometimes they ask which one is the first 5, which one is this next 4, which one is the last 2, what does it refer to? So I'd like to highlight that because it always comes up. So in 1972, there's a listing of all the drugs marketed to the public. Okay, and then one other important information is NDC. NDC stands for National Drug Code. And this is an 11-digit code that identifies the drug. It's not the same as SKU. It's not the same as barcode. However, you will see this most of the time under the barcode. Okay? NDC, National Drug Code. 11 digits. but it's broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 5 plus 4, 9 plus 2, 11. This is important, huh? Because they asked this on the PTCE. 5 digits, first 5 pertains to manufacturer. Very good, manufacturer. They can ask you what does the first 5 of the NDC pertain to. Okay, what's the next 4? The product. The product or the drug. Okay, product code or the drug code. And what's the last 2? The package size, usually. Okay. What does that mean, Ms. Ellen? So each manufacturer has a code. For example, Johnson & Johnson, Glaxo, okay, Bristol Myers, all of them, they got a code, 5 digits. Okay. Next one is the product or the drug. Say, for example, they made amoxicillin. There's a code for amoxicillin, 4 digits. You follow? And then the package size is usually, does it come in 60? You'll see like 60 capsule or 30 capsule or 30 tablets, right? That's why if a manufacturer, you're presenting drug words, right? All the time, the drugs. If a manufacturer manufactured a drug that comes in different package size, this first 9 will be the same. What's gonna be different? The last 2. So you will see on the product insert, the package insert, this first 9 will be the same, and then listed again, listed again, listed again. If they came up with different strengths or different package size, say for example, they came in 30, 60, 90, this will vary because this is the packaging or the size. Can you follow? If it's made by the same exact manufacturer, same exact drug, okay? This last 2 will change. The common question is, what does NDC stand for? And either what does the first 5 numbers represent, or what does the next 4 numbers represent, or what does the next 2 numbers, the last 2 digits represent? So it is important, okay? It is important that, okay, you know which one is which. First 5 is the manufacturer code. Next 4 is the drug or the product code. The last 2 is the packaging or the packaging size. Okay. Did you understand what I said? When it's the same manufacturer, manufacturing the same exact product, but different strengths or different packaging size. So on the product insert that Ashley presented, it'll be same exact 9 digits. The last 2 will change, and it'll be listed on the package insert because it's available in different in different quantities or in different packaging. Is that clear? That's why I said it's very, very good that we ended on which one? On the package insert, because in 1972, where I'm going to start is tied to what she just presented. Everything clear? Good. Not sure. So you have another law. So from 1970 to 1972, Drug Listing Act. What's important in 1972? NDC number, right? Another question that's very, very common. Who assigns NDC number? Who do you think? No, okay, don't get that wrong. Common question as well on the PTCE. It's the manufacturers that assign NDC numbers to each of their products, not the FDA. You gotta remember that. It's the manufacturers that assign NDC products to their product. Okay? Manufacturers, not FDA. Because NDC numbers are not required. You follow? Okay, next up. After 1972, plus 11 years later, there's a very, very, very important act or law that was enacted. And what is that? The Orphan Drug Act. The Orphan Drug Act always comes up on the PTC as well. Why? This is a very important law, especially for drugs, right? For patients, very important for patients where their disease is not common, okay? So the 1983 Orphan Drug Act, when you say orphan drug, let's define orphan drug first. When you say an orphan drug, okay, it is a drug that will be used by few people. Like what I said, it is important for these people because it's not a common disease or disorder. When do you consider few? This is the magic number. Only 200,000 people are affected by this disease or disorder. The magic number is 200,000. Okay, only 200,000 people. So why was this act established or enacted? Why was this law enacted? It's because we don't want to neglect these people with a rare disease, right? It doesn't mean that your disease is rare, we're just going to neglect them. What if you're one of them? Right? So the pharmaceutical companies can be encouraged, the big pharma can be encouraged to find a cure or a treatment for such disease or diseases affecting 200,000 people or less. Can you follow? Okay. What does it say as well on the act, on top of that? What do you think they did so that the big pharma can be encouraged to discover, develop, or put out drugs that can help cure or treat this disease that affects less than 200,000 people?
They gave out tax incentives.
Very good. They gave tax incentives to these pharmaceutical companies to encourage them to develop treatment or cure for a rare disease. I'm mentioning this because your hospitals may be carrying orphan drugs, okay, and investigative drugs, investigational drugs, okay. And I want you to be aware there's such a thing, okay, and there's paperwork that needs to be done, patient information. We have to inform the family because it's not yet fully tested, right? For this one, for the orphan drug, 1983 Orphan Drug Act, it just encouraged pharmaceutical companies to develop a cure or a treatment for diseases that affect, rare diseases that affect, magic number, 200,000 people or less, okay? Always comes up on the PTCE, the orphan drug, the word orphan drug or the Orphan Drug Act. Is that clear? Yes? Moving on, 1 year later, 1984, the Law Drug Price Competition and Parent Term Restoration Act. Okay. Just the drug price competition alone is a giveaway. Should tell you something. What does that mean? Drug price competition. Drug price competition. What competes a brand name? A generic name. Okay. That's why you might want to highlight, encourage the creation of generic drugs and innovative new drugs by streamlining the process of generic approval. Not anyone or any pharmacy can just make generics right away. You have to know this. Another information that comes up on the PTCE. Each of the drugs will be covered by a patent. Current information, okay? 20 years. A patent lasts 20 years. If you're asked on the PTCE, right now, current information, because before it's not 20, okay? I'm going to talk about that later, but I want you to have the latest information. When you're asked on the PTCE or on the ExCPT, how long is a patent good for?
20 years.
20 years. That's the answer now. We're talking now, 2022 as of August
22.
22. Oh, August 2022. Patent is good for 20 years. Okay. Miss L, why is there a patent? Okay. So this new drugs, okay, pharmaceutical companies will have to apply a patent for each new substance or drug that they develop. Why? Because it's new. They want to be able to recoup the cost of their investment. So they have patent means exclusive rights to that particular drug for 20 years. You follow? Usually what happens on year 19, manufacturers, generic manufacturers are starting to develop the generic drugs. So that come 2020, when the patent expires, there is a generic equivalent. You follow? What's the difference between brand and generic? Generic usually is the scientific name or the chemical name of the drug. You follow? It is called a non-proprietary name. You follow? Okay. The brand name, on the other hand, is the trade name, proprietary name of the drug. Okay. I always tell you, I say generic is the universal name of the drug, right? Why am I saying that? Because in any country you go to, 95 to 99% of the time, the generic will be exactly the same as the generic that we use here. There's one exemption I can think of real fast. What is that? I talked about this. Acetaminophen, okay? It's acetaminophen here, paracetamol in Europe, in some Asian countries, including the Philippines. Chemical structure is exactly the same. Okay. But if we're talking about alprazolam, okay, the generic of alprazolam everywhere else is alprazolam. The generic of ibuprofen everywhere else is ibuprofen. Okay, everywhere else in the world. That's why I said there's a little bit of an exemption. Okay. Brand name is also called trade name, is also called proprietary name. Miss L, can pharmaceutical companies give any brand on their product? Yeah. And that's what they patent. Like Benadryl is the original brand, OG, you call it OG, right? Regeneration Code. Is it original OG? Okay. The OG brand, I'm trying to be hip. Miss Jay's laughing because I have to learn like what's original OG. Okay, Benadryl is the OG brand for diphenhydramine. They had the exclusive rights to the generic diphenhydramine and they branded it Benadryl. You follow? Well, if we're going to think about right now, 20 years later, but it was different before. Patents last 7 years plus 5 years. There's an extension. Okay. That's why I said currently. After their patents expired, generic companies manufactured diphenhydramine, putting whatever brand name they want. Can you follow? That's why Walmart has Equate brand, right? For their drugs. Help me out here. What does Smith's have?
Kroger.
Kroger brand, or they use another one. But you're right, it's Kroger. Walmart has Equate, Smith's has Kroger. Did you notice Walgreens has Wall? Like Claritin is Wallitin or Wallitrin, something like that for them. Okay. And then CVS has their own line of generics. You follow? Okay. Do you now know the difference between brand and generic? Okay, give me examples of brand and generic now. Identify which one is brand. Identify which one is generic. You just presented today your drug words. Okay. It can be over the counter. It can be prescription, but identify which is which. Okay. When I used to teach pharmacology, I'd put a true or false question on, say, for example, Benadryl is the generic name of diphenhydramine. True or false? False. That's how I catch you. Why? Because Benadryl is the brand name of diphenhydramine. That's what made the sentence false, the statement false. You follow? Let's start off with Kaylin. Brand and generic, identify. Brand is Topranyl. Are you gonna give me what you presented today? Generic? Imipramine. Very good. Okay, Ashley. Brand and generic. I'll start on the right side. This time I'm gonna start on the left.
Okay.
Doxis. Okay. Is that brand or generic? Doxycycline. Okay. Geneva.
Brand Coumadin.
Brand Coumadin. Very common. Okay. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Brand is Coumadin.
Generic Orphan.
Generic is warfarin. Don't flip flop. Okay. Edwin. Edwin's giggling right away. Edwin, you're a troublemaker, Edwin. No, you're not. Okay.
Brand is Reglan.
Brand is Reglan. Generic.
Metoclopramide.
Say it again. Slowly.
Metoclopramide.
Metoclopramide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Metoclopramide.
It's like question mark. Okay. Clyde, brand and generic, identify.
Brand would be Orphan.
Brand would be,
Orphan.
okay, generic.
Yeah, Northwest.
Vanessa, your turn. Generic. Very good. Okay. Brand and generic. Now I have a question for you. Do all drugs have brand names? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Correct. Do all drugs have generic names? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, all drugs, no matter what, will have a generic name. Remember, that's the quote unquote chemical name of the drug, and that is the universal name of the drug. But drugs are not required to have a brand name. Very good. Confusing question, right? You answered it correct. I think you're the only group that has the correct answer, like all of you answered it correctly. But sometimes yes, no, yes, no. What is it really? But your answer was in unison. Okay, brand and generic is clear. Okay, remember I was talking about patents. In the past, patents are not good for 20 years. You're only given how long?
7 years. 7.
How long? How long are patents good for? Put in your packet in the old days. So I want to end here. 6? No, it should be longer. It takes millions of dollars to develop a drug. So 6 years is not enough to recoup the cost of the pharmaceutical company's investment. It's actually 17 years in the past. Okay. But there's a 1984 Hatch-Waxman Act that allows pharmaceutical companies to apply for an extension. So what happens is it's an additional up to 5 years. So patent is stretched out to 22. 17 plus 5 is 22. Can you follow? Okay. But now I want to highlight this again on the PTCE or the ExCPT when asked, how long are patents good for, or how long do patents last? Answer is 20. Current information. Is that clear? Okay. Put in your notes, your notebook, getting filled. Yeah. Geneva's PTCE notebook is getting filled. I told you law information is a lot tied with your inventory because they overlap information. Need time to write. You see how the topics back to back to back actually ended with package insert and there came NDC number, because NDC number you will see in the package insert, you will see on the bottles. Is NDC number required? No. All of this confusing answers, right? Okay. Who assigns NDC number? Manufacturers, not the FDA. It's not required. Okay.
I think I remember now why I got confused. The manufacturer code is assigned by the FDA.
Correct.
That's why I'm
Yes,
like,
the first
why
5
am I
digits
confused?
is assigned by the FDA. That's their code. Just like their address.
Mhm.
Right? Clear? A lot of things are clarified today because questions can be confusing not only on the final exam, but on your national certification exam. Again, do all drugs require NDC numbers? No, it's an option. Is your package insert considered a monograph? Yes, because it's a description of the drug, just shorter than a full-on monograph. Okay. Here's another one. When asked which one is the most accurate information on a drug, what is the answer?
The drug monograph.
The drug monograph or the package insert. Not any of these books, not the orange book, not the red book, none of these books, because it's the manufacturer who created the monographs and the package insert. So if you are to refer to the correct dosing, okay, or whatever information about the drug, who has the best knowledge? The manufacturer. So your number one source should be the drug monograph. When you're looking for the accurate source, the most accurate source for information about a specific drug. Clear? Okay. I want to move on. 1987. I want to pause for a bit because 1987 has something to do with drugs in animals, okay, which another topic, but I wanted to follow up or follow through on what Vanessa started today with the presentation. Okay. So after 1984, the next big law enacted was the Prescription Drug Marketing Act. The act helped control the use of drugs in animals. In 1987, many drugs were sold OTC. What does OTC stand for again? Over the counter in feed stores. You know what feed stores are? What's feed stores?
Where you buy their food.
Where you buy animal food. Okay, now we have just Petco, PetSmart, what else? But before it's standalone, they're just selling feeds or food for animals. Okay, so over the counter drugs are being sold during this time, 1987 and prior, in feed stores. So who's to stop people or humans from buying it from feed stores and using it for themselves? No one, right? Yeah. I've seen stories of like old people eating pet food. Hey, they said it's good. Well, look at your face. Yes, find them, okay, on videos, okay? I've seen it a long time ago. They eat pet food, but come to think of it, you gave me the look. Is it edible? Yes. My question is, can you eat it? Yes. Why? If it's good for your pets, that means it's not that it's good for you, but you can eat it, right? Because they don't die when they eat it, right? But your faces are like, oh, that's gross. Yeah, because we don't want to eat pet food, right? Well, some people tried, some I said, and they ended up liking it, so they shared the food with their pets. I'd rather share my food with my pet than the other way around, right? Okay, but it's full of nutrients. But the pet food now is so vast, right? They have this tuna, they have this canned whatever food we have, right? Like whatever our favorite food is. But the problem then was over-the-counter meds are being purchased by humans for their own consumption. Okay. So it's over the counter in feed stores, but it's prescription for humans. Doesn't add up, right? But it's for use for animals. That's why it's over the counter. Yeah. That's why I said the dosing of drugs is a wide range. Why? You may fill prescriptions for pets in your local Walgreens or local CVS. Don't be surprised. I'll tell you how they name it, okay? How you're going to know. Okay, did Ms. J cover that? How you're going to know that you're filling it for an animal? Oh, okay. Because the pet owners, the animals carry the pet owner's last name. So it seems like a person's name. But let's finish this one first before we talk about how you're going to identify that a drug is for an animal or you're filling a prescription for an animal. Okay. Let's talk about your fur babies later. Caution! This is required in the 1987 Prescription Drug Marketing Act. Caution! Federal law restricts this drug to use by or on the order of a licensed veterinarian. They require that now if the drug is for animals. Okay. In other words, you could not just go to the feed store and buy drugs anymore. Vets need to write a prescription for the animals because they're only licensed to treat and write prescriptions for animals. Unless you want to consider yourself an animal, scientifically, others will fight that. Yeah, we're the highest form of animals. I don't want that. Scientifically. Also, they prohibited the sale or trading of drug samples by those other than those who are licensed to prescribe them. Why? Pharmaceutical reps employed by pharmaceutical companies give samples of drugs. Okay, so some feed stores, they gave it away. They give it away. It will say sample not for sale. That's required. Okay. Talking about samples, your doctors may have those samples if we're talking humans, and give you sometimes a 7-day trial, or when, especially when drugs are new and they're prescribing it, a 4-day trial, a 7-day trial. Okay, you have to be aware that manufacturers, especially if these are new drugs, you can go to the manufacturer website or the drug website if you need help with new drugs, because they either have coupons online direct from the manufacturer, or you may enroll yourself as a patient or your parents or whoever you're taking care of, especially if the prescription is new. Enroll them. They usually have a program. They get like a 1 month free of the drug. They just have to qualify for the requirements. Usually the qualification is you have to have that disease that you're trying to treat. Yeah. Okay. How do you know that you're filling, let's go back to that, a prescription for animals? Because you can receive that anytime, right? You can receive that anytime. But how do you know that it's not for humans? It's not for animals. Our pets carry your last name. Okay, and then you give them their first name. So you're just gonna, I remember one of my students, her last name is Parker, okay? And her dog's name is Tupac. I love Tupac. Okay, so the dog's name is Tupac Parker. If you get that as a prescription, you would think that's a prescription you're filling for a human, right? For a person. Okay? But no. But before I say how you're going to identify, I want you to tell me, you have a pet, what's the name? And now you know that, do you know that they carry your last name? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear it from Geneva. What's your pet's name with your last name?
Well, I have 5.
Oh my God. Which one's your favorite?
No, I can't do
I
that.
can't do that. Okay, let's hear the 5.
They will know.
Oh, they will know. Oh my God, they will know.
They know when I'm betraying them.
Okay, what are we talking about when it comes to pets? Oh, dogs?
Cats.
Cats. Okay, she's a cat. Okay. All 5? All 5 are cats?
Yes.
Okay, let's name them. Geneva's last name is?
Arcalis.
Arcalis. So all of them will have Arcalis as the last name. Okay, let's start off with not your most favorite, but just say the 5 names. The most stubborn?
Oh, the most.
Okay, let's
Swirly.
Shirley.
Swirly.
Swirly.
Because she has a swirly tail.
Swirly Arcalis. Okay.
And
The
then-
sweetest.
The sweetest, Misty.
Misty Arcalis. I'm not going to remember this because I don't see their faces, so it's hard for me to identify. The sweetest. What else? The most stubborn.
The most hungry?
The one who's always hungry.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yes, the name. No, just joking.
No, his name's Toothless because he looks like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh my God. Toothless Arcalis. It's nice to know your pets, you know? Toothless Arcalis. All right, here comes the 2. What can you identify the other 2?
Well, the other one, she has attitude all the time.
Ah,
She
the one
doesn't
with
like to
attitude.
be pet or loved.
Oh my gosh.
But when she wants it,
snobbish.
Yeah, when she wants it, she'll go to you, and then you have to give it right away, or else you will get.
Oh,
bitten.
spoiled brat.
Yeah, she's the devil.
Okay.
Her name is Snow because she's all white.
Oh, Snow Arcalis. And then?
And then, okay, I'll say it. My favorite one.
You betrayed them.
No, because she's always with me all the time.
Aw.
Her name is Oreo.
Oreo.
When I study, she would like mess with me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to study.
Okay, Oreo Arcalis. Without me knowing that they're cats, I would build them as if they're what? Human, right? The identifier is the species, right? So feline. So you will see after the name feline, either in open and closed parentheses, right? So it's a female cat, feline. What's a male cat? What's a male cat? Homework, huh? What's a male cat? You should know. There's a cartoon about it.
I don't have a male cat. So.
Oh, all of them female.
female,
So you're gonna get a feline. Here we go. Edwin, pet.
A dog.
A dog. Okay, a dog. So Edwin's last name is
Heroes.
Fieros. Okay. What's just one? What's the name?
It has a human name.
And that's why you have to know whether you're feeling for an animal or a human. Because sometimes you're gonna think, okay, think about this. If the animal is a hamster, just as an example, and you're thinking, why is the dose so small? Right? Because it's a hamster. And then all of a sudden you see like such a big dose, right? What if it's for an elephant? Or a horse?
Most
I'm
of
not,
the
I'm not joking, right? Like, oh my God, this is so overdose.
most of the hamsters are named Herbert too. Human name.
But we don't have elephants as pets. So we're not going to get that. They're really going to get their prescription from vets. Okay. Edwin, what's the name?
Her name is Zoe.
Zoe?
Yeah.
Zoe Fieros. I get that prescription. I'm going to think that this is a person. Right? Species, open and close parentheses, brackets or braces. Inside that would be canine. Okay. Clyde, do you have a pet? Not right now. Clyde just moved. Okay. What about you, Vanessa? You have a dog? One? Just one? 3? Okay, let's hear this. This is fun.
Okay, the first 2 I didn't name. I didn't name any of them.
Okay.
The first one is called Peluche.
What is it?
Peluche.
Pelucha?
Peluche.
Peluche. Peluche. What's peluche in Spanish? In English? Teddy bear. Peluche. Oh, I didn't know that. That's teddy bear in Spanish. Okay, second one. Monica. Oh, what's Monica in English? Doll. Okay, I know that one. Okay, what's the third one? Junior. Why is it a junior? Is there a senior?
My brother wanted to be after him, but mom said no. So.
That's like it's just a junior. Okay, last name? Rocha. Okay, add that. Junior Rocha is like a human name. Right? Dominica is not a common name, but it can be a name. Yeah? That's why you have to know. So dogs, Kanan. What about you, Ashley?
One dog.
Oh, okay. Last name is Gaglio. And then what's the dog's name?
Antonio.
Antonio Gaglio. Are you gonna feel that as a human or as a pet? Of course you're gonna feel that as a human if we didn't include canine in it. You follow? Yeah.
Imagine if you just have the prescription and you're like, hey, you tell the pharmacist, so are you gonna talk to them right away for counseling? Because we offer counseling, right? For the first prescription.
Exactly. That happened to my student before.
I didn't think that it was a dog.
Exactly. Do you have a tiny dog or a big dog?
He's a fat tiny dog, like with big-
Okay. And then you're gonna think you're doing a review like, this is too low a dose, right? Get a prescription.
Yeah, like for a little child.
Yeah, so with the species. Okay, Caitlin. No pets? No pets? Right now, that's okay. I don't have a pet too. Because I'm allergic to dog saliva. But my son has 3 fish. They all died before we left. And now there's a new replacement. And it's a lot of tears. He told me, Mom, you just don't know how painful this is every time. Every single fish that dies, and we had like more than 20 before. How many tears? And then he had a hermit crab. And it's like, you can't have me take care of those. So
I used to have a pet crayfish, which is interesting.
crawfish, crayfish, crawfish, right? Crawfish, the one you eat?
Yeah.
Crawfish? Okay. I've never heard of anyone take care of a crawfish. Oh my God.
Hermit crab.
Hermit crab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a funny.
Story.
No, I live with the dog, has a funny name.
What is it?
So I guess only if you're from Hawaii you would really get it, but his first name is Shoyu,
Show you.
which is soy sauce in Japanese. His middle name is Chicken. Shoyu Chicken is a dish in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his last name is In. So Shoyu Chicken In.
Show you chicken im. That's cute. Okay, so you can see that we got to remember our fur babies. I don't want to start the 9090 as boring. So we'll start the 9090 tomorrow. We started early. Any questions on the laws from beginning to end? So let me quiz you. Not a quiz. Let me just quiz you. For added-
attack there.
I said let me quiz you. I didn't say let's have a quiz. Okay. Let me quiz you so that the information gets added. Okay. Just a review, because you're going to do Kahoot before we do finals. Okay. Actually, now that we have time, after I quiz you a bit, you're going to do your case studies. Not case studies, another presentation. Not case studies. Okay. What's the first law?
Federal Food and Drug Act.
Federal
1906.
Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act. Correct. What was the revision or the amendment?
Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic.
Very good. Okay. What changed? What was it changed? What happened? We're like doing history.
It is truthful into.
It has to be safe.
It has to be safe. The 1906 only has to be truthful. This one has to be safe. Why? What happened?
Is
People died.
like 100 people.
About 100 people died. Why? What was that of it?
One of the ingredients was an antifreeze.
An antifreeze. What they call that? Antifreeze?
Yeah, I know.
Diethylene glycol. BG. Okay. What else changed in 1938? There's so many. Okay, there must be a warning for drugs that are highly addictive. So maybe habit forming. What else?
FDA
FDA
was formed.
was created, correct? What else? Cosmetics was added. Okay, cosmetics, tobacco. Okay. What else? Pharmaceutical companies are required to
Include package inserts.
package inserts. Is it package inserts or something else?
Like directions on how to consume.
No,
They have to
big thing. They have to submit what?
IND.
NDA.
NDA.
This one is NDA, new
NDA,
drug
yes.
application before they test it on humans. Okay, and then the Durham Humphrey, when did this happen? 1951. What changed? What changed?
Take the distinction between legend and over.
Very good. The distinction between legend and over the counter. What is legend?
Like the prescription.
Prescription only. Okay, so drugs cannot be over the counter all the time. They have to have prescriptions. Okay. We missed something. What's that opium law? Kefauver Harris. When was this? 1914. Kefauver Harris. I'm sorry. Harrison Narcotic Act. That was a Harrison Narcotic Act of 1914. Because I'm looking at Kefauver Harris now. Okay. Kefauver Harris. What's important?
That opium has to be prescription only, and you cannot trade opiums.
Kefauver Harris now, 1962.
That's when it's required the manufacturers to apply IND.
Very good. This time, an INDA, investigational new drug application for any new substance, compound, or drugs that they're trying to test. Okay, and they must be not only safe, not only truthful, but also effective. What happened in 1962? A big event. What poisoning is that?
The thalidomide.
The thalidomide poisoning. What do we call those babies? Leper babies. Okay. What does that mean? They were born with the facts by by what? They were born with the facts from moms who took what?
Thalidomide.
Thalidomide, which is a motion
morning
sickness, a morning sickness medication. Were the Americans affected by that during that time? No, because it was only approved in Europe at that time. Okay. 1970, we talked about the different classification of controlled substances. Okay. Let me test you on controlled substances. The lower the number, the more addictive, or the higher the potential for abuse. C1 is more addictive than C2. C2 is more addictive than C3. C3 is more addictive than C4. C4 is more addictive than C5. I'm so repetitive. Okay. C1, what's the use? No approved therapeutic effect, street drugs. C2 and C3.
For pain.
It's for pain, usually for pain. C4s and C5s. SAD. What does SAD stand for? Sleep, anxiety,
Depression.
and depression. Okay, good job. Exempt narcotics. Examples of exempt narcotics. They're not true narcotics. What are exempt narcotics?
Like Robitussin AC.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, those.
Now it's her favorite brand, Kaylee's favorite brand. Okay, those are cough and antidiarrheal medications that we control. Okay, DEA forms. I told you how to remember this, right? So DEA, and you did it in inventory. DEA form 222 is a DEA form used for ordering C2s. DEA form 41
Destruction.
Destruction, okay? And remember 4. 4 is the number of death for the Chinese. So I always say 4, dead, destroy. DEA form 41 is destruction. This is in your flashcards today. DEA form 106.
Is a temper control.
Okay, this is a form where you report theft of controlled substances. Why DEA form? Because they're all controlled substances. Okay, we like reporting that? No, but we have to. Okay, pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, it's a pharmacist making the report. Do we like doing that? No, but we have to. If theft happened, we have to. If we're ordering C2s, we have to. Okay, this was also in your flashcard today. What must be done for the destruction or disposal of controlled substances? It must be
Recorded.
Witnessed, and signed by a pharmacist and a second pharmacist. Okay, hint, hint, wink, wink, final exam. Okay, and we started off with 1970 today, so that's that. Are you ready for your I'm gonna do pairs presentation, so it's only 3 and you can do it in one day for your cases. Okay. FDA, DEA is done. State Board of Pharmacy is done. Okay. Clyde, yours is conscientious objector loss. Conscientious objector. No, the conscientious objector is not only in the military. Clyde is a veteran. I'm assigning this to him, not because he's a veteran, but I want him to look into the conscientious objector in the medical field. Okay? Conscientious objector law. Conscientious, conscience. Conscientious objector. In the military, the example of this is those military men who don't want to kill people, don't want to carry guns, okay, because it's against their religion or against their, okay, that's in the military. That's why this term was popularized in the military first before it came to the medical field. But it's against your religion, against, it doesn't exclude the medical field, right? Common for this one is the use of contraception, okay? All this fun stuff, political. Okay, so conscientious objector laws. Ashley partnered with Clyde on this one. Okay, so use Google Slides, Google whatever it is that you need to use, but you have to collaborate. Okay, you have to talk about this conscientious objector. What I wanted you to do is, let me give you a copy. I'm gonna skip the others. Discuss what conscientious objector means and present 2 cases. There's so many cases on conscientious objector. Hobby Lobby has a case on that. If you don't know, but present 2 cases, okay, of conscientious objector laws, of an example of conscientious objector law. Okay. Next one, Geneva and Kaylee. Yours will be a tearjerker. Emily's law. Emily is a baby, a child from Ohio. there is an Emily's Law. The law is named after that child. Tell us what happened. What happened to the pharmacist? What happened to the technician? Where are they now? Where's Emily's dad and mom? Or where's Emily's parents? Okay. How could it be better? How could it be avoided? Okay, so Emily's Law. Vanessa and Edwin, yours will be another tearjerker. The Summerlin baby case, Alyssa Shin. There was no law named after her. However, because you're in this town, I want you to look it up. Same. Whose fault was it? Is it just one person? Is it all the people involved? Where's the pharmacist now? Where's the pharmacy technician now? What were the penalties? Right. Where is Alyssa's parents now? Okay. What happened? What really happened? It's in the news. Okay. These are two big cases. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to talk to Leslie on this one. Okay. It says in here, individual report, specific 100 points. It must be in your own words with a reference sheet, 12-point Times New Roman, double space, 1-inch margin, 2 pages, and a cover sheet. 30 points for visual aids. Miss L, can we do PowerPoint? Yes, anytime. Okay, I prefer it. Teamwork, you're going to be rated based on teamwork as well. Okay. And the presentation itself, make sure you cover the things I mentioned for your presentation. When is this happening? Okay. Here we go. Your finals is going to be on the 30th. Presentation will be Friday, the 27th. 26th. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong date. Law presentation. Okay. Collaborate, talk to your partners, exchange emails or phone numbers. If I were you, I'm going to use Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google PowerPoint, because you can go back and forth. It's in the cloud, right? So you don't have to attach PowerPoint in this. Okay, go partner now. You have 5 minutes to talk about this, how you're gonna present, resources. Do not forget to include sources, huh? Sources of information.
So the individual report, like each one of us would have to make? Or
No, just
as
one
a team?
report for both of you. That's why I wanted you to collaborate back and forth.